Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm the book geek, better known as Kiava, and today I'm going to do a not sold mid-year anymore mid-year freakout tag. So I am a little late on this tag. I know it is not mid-year anymore. It is almost mid-August, and I'm just now doing my mid-year freakout tag. I wasn't too sure if I had even wanted to do this tag in the first place because I feel like I haven't read enough books to successfully complete this tag. But I decided to give it a go anyway, and once I started answering some of the questions, I was able to actually answer some of the questions and complete it successfully. So we're going to do that today. Number one is to talk about the best book you've read so far in 2020. It's kind of unfair for me to answer this question right now because I feel like the books that I'm going to read in the second half of the year are going to blow all the books that I've read during the first half of the year right out of the water. I have some amazing books planned to read for this second part of the year. So this list is going to be so much different when my end of the year book series comes. But anyway, best book I've read so far, because I got some good ones coming. But so far, the best book I've read so far is Cut and Run by Mary Burton. This is a mystery, thriller, and romantic suspense novel. This one really kept me on the edge of my seat. In this book, we have a young woman named Faith. She is a medical examiner. We have another young woman named Macy. She is an FBI agent. When a crime brings these two women together, Faith discovers that Macy is the twin sister she never knew she had. Both sisters are connected to this case in more ways than they realize. There were so many shockers in this novel. It kept me on the edge of my seat. And it was a mix of sexiness and mystery. So we have another detective, a young man, I forget his name. I think his name was Hayden. And he has a relationship with Faith. So that's where the romantic suspense comes in at, because it's a good mixture of this romantic aspect between these two individuals that are connected with this crime. So there's a mixture of sexiness and mystery in this story, and it was very, very good. I gave it 5 stars. Number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2020. Now, I have not read any sequels so far this year, unless issue number 2 to a graphic novel counts, and so I'm gonna say that it does count, because that's the part 2 of anything that I've read this year. And that is Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, issue number 2. So I had read the digital copy of Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, issue number 1. It was very short, and at the end I was left begging for more. So I immediately rushed to read issue number 2. And that is the only part 2 of anything, like I said, I've read this year. This year was supposed to be the year of sequels. It was supposed to be the year of series. And I'm kind of dropping the ball there. I was supposed to be reading sequels and starting new series this year, and it's not going well so far. But like I said, I have some amazing things planned for part 2 of the year, which means I'm going to be cramming in a lot of books for the second part of the year, because I have so many amazing books that I want to get to. Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer is a comic book or graphic novel. It is about the historical figure Harriet Tubman. She's known for helping free many slaves, and so in this adaptation of her life, she's freeing slaves. But the white people that are after these slaves, that are slave owners and are taking part in the slave trade, are actually demons and vampires and monsters, real life monsters. And I just thought that it was just so amazing, because you think of people who held slaves and beat slaves and did all these things, these horrific things throughout history. You think of them as monsters. And in this story, they portrayed them as actual real life monsters. It was incredible. And there is a third part that I cannot wait to get to. I'm trying to find out how I can actually get physical copies of these graphic novels, because I would love to own the physical copies of these books. Number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. And for me, that is Felix Ever After. I've talked about this book in several videos, and people know how excited I am to get to this book. This one was actually given to me as a birthday present by one of my Bookstagram friends, so thank you if you're watching. I already told her thank you, but thank you again if you're watching, because I'm so happy to have this book in my collection and I cannot wait to get to it. I explained in one of my last videos that I am reading this book next month. And so what this book is about is a young boy. He is trans, and although he is proud of who he is, he's still struggling with his identity and with the concept of love. And there is an issue where someone tries to publicly humiliate Felix. And so Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. And he ends up finding himself in some new situations. And so I just can't wait to follow him on his journey and find out exactly what's going to happen in the story. I think Felix is going to discover exactly who he is and exactly what he wants. This book is by Case and Callender, by the way, and this is a contemporary LGBT novel. Number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And for me, that is going to be Smash It by Francina Simone. If you do not know, Francina Simone is also a fellow booktuber, and she has this amazing book coming out in September that I cannot wait to read. The cover is to die for, by the way. And so in this book, the main character, Olivia, has created a fuck it list. Kind of like a bucket list. And so she's deciding to be bold and outstanding. And because of this, she has acquired new friends and new opportunities at school and in her life, including the attention of 3 different boys. And so I can't wait to see how Olivia is going to just straight up smash it and achieve all her goals. It sounds like an amazing story, and I cannot wait to own it and read it. Number 5 is Biggest Disappointment, and for me, that is going to be I Am Watching You by Theresa Driscoll. I was expecting this book to be more thrilling and more climactic, and it was just meh. It was just okay for me. In this story, a young woman named Ella hears some things transpiring between a young girl and 2 young men while commuting on a train. She thinks that she should intervene, but she doesn't, and then is racked with guilt when she discovers that the young girl from the train is missing. She's also been receiving threatening letters. The overall story was pretty forgettable. I can't really remember any major moments except for one. And that's not what you want from a thriller, mystery, suspense story. I think I gave this book 3 stars. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise. At the moment, I don't think I have any big surprises. All of these books were pretty much what I thought they were going to be. There's no book that really surprised the hell out of me. So this one is non-applicable. NA. Number 7 is Favorite New Author, either debut or new to me. And for me, that is going to be Nnedi Okorafor. She is the author of Binti and several other stories. And although I've only read 1 book by this author, she piqued my interest enough to continue to read more stories by her. I like her writing style. She was able to make an impact on me with just 1 story, and so for that, she's got to be my new favorite author. Number 8 is Newest Fictional Crush. For me, that's got to be Tamlin from A Court of Thorns and Roses. I haven't fallen too deep into the fandom of A Court of Thorns and Roses yet. I know they have their own fandom out there. I'm late getting into this whole universe that Sarah J. Maas has created. I'm new to this world, and so I saw very quickly in someone's old video about how they didn't like Tamlin and that people have issues with Tamlin, and so maybe later on I will discover why. But this is the first book in this series, and I absolutely love Tamlin. I think he's brute and masculine, but also sexy and loving, and I like that about a man. So I like a man that can take charge, you know what I'm saying, but's not afraid to show his affection as well. I like a hard man, you know what I mean? So I fucking love Tamlin. I love it. Am I saying his name right? Tamlin. I love him. I love him to pieces. I love Tamlin. He's my new fictional crush. And I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I love him. Number 9 is newest favorite character. For me, that's got to be Binti from the book of the same name, Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. In this story, the young girl, Binti, is leaving behind her family and her entire life to attend this galactic university. It's one of the best institutions for higher learning in the galaxy, but this institution, this university, also has enemies, and these enemies attack while Binti is present. Now she will have to use all her unprivileged acquired knowledge, skill, and savviness to survive. I thought Binti was brave and persistent in her goals, and I can't wait to see how this character develops throughout this series. Number 10 is to name a book that made you cry. NA. Not applicable for me. There hasn't been a book to bring me to tears yet this year, and it is very hard for me to cry while reading books. So I don't know if that's going to happen this year. I might get very, very sad and want to tear up, but I don't know if tears will actually fall from my eyes, and that hasn't happened for me yet this year. I have enough things to cry about in real life. Number 11 is to name a book that made you happy, and for me it is going to be Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can, or Claire Khan. I think it's Claire Can. This book was so cute. I actually did a reading vlog for this book if you want to check that out. But in this story, the character Alice is an asexual girl, and she has had some issues in past relationships because of her sexual orientation, and she is going to discover who she is, what she wants, and how she wants it, and how she wants to love on her own terms. It was so freaking adorable. I was rooting for her the entire time in the story, and rooting for her relationship as well. It was really cute. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year, or actually received. Doesn't matter. I have Queenie up here in the back because this book is so gorgeous, but unfortunately I did not receive or buy this book this year. This book was from last year. So this year I actually have a few books that I think could qualify for this question, and number 1 is Mexican Gothic. There is something hauntingly beautiful about this cover. I don't know what it is, but I just find it to be so gorgeous. Beautiful cover, so gorgeous. As well as Black Girl Unlimited. I love the cover of this book. It is so gorgeous, and it is like, it looks like a painting. It looks like a painting. I love it. I just love this book. I'm trying to get a clear. There it is. I love that. Love, love, love that. Another book that could qualify as a beautiful cover is Felix Ever After. And of course, this one was gifted to me. I don't want you guys to see my ugly nails. My nails are not done. Love this cover. And I'm going to show you one more book that I think has a gorgeous cover, and that is Crown of Feathers. I bought this book simply because of the cover. There's just something about this fire firebird, this phoenix on the cover that is just so freaking gorgeous. And finally, number 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So many. So many. So, let's get into it. I need to, of course, read Felix Ever After by the end of the year. I need to finish A Court of Thorns and Roses. I need to read The One. Let's make some room because, listen. Children of the Dark. The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. I need to finish The Other Side. I need to finish Speaking of Summer. I need to finish Pride. Now, I'm going to be doing a video in the future, in the near future, about all the books that I need to finish. Books that I have started that are half completed that I need to finish reading. And so some of these will be on that list. I need to read A Step into the Rain. I wanted to support a local author, and so I contacted him. He hand-delivered this signed copy of this book to me, so I want to make sure that I make this one a priority. A Step into the Rain. I need to read this by the end of the year. The Black Flamingo. Outlander. Akata Warrior. The Color Purple. Children of Blood and Bone. In a Dark, Dark Wood. The Maze Runner. Divergent. The Sinner. Winter's Tale. The Hunger Games. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Last Name Sarah. I hope I'm saying that right. It. I actually need to reread this one because I put it down for too long. I'm halfway through it. I'm halfway through this book. But I'm going to start it over from the beginning probably. But I want to read it by the end of the year. I need to read it by the end of the year. Gone. The Mist. Before I Go to Sleep. Campfire. The Shape of Water. Akata Witch. The Road. The Revenant. Behind Her Eyes. And these books were in the box, so they are dusty. Ugh. They were sitting in a box. Woo! Dust bunnies! Behind Her Eyes. A Picture of Dorian Gray. I need to finish A Game of Thrones. This is so pathetic. Pet Cemetery. I need to read it by the end of the year. A Curse. So Dark and Lonely. And finally, I Am Behind You. Whew. Okay, guys, so that is my very late, not so mid-year anymore, mid-year freak out tag. I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna go read now. I'll see you guys in my next one. Until next time, bye.